Today on Ballistic Barbecue, I'm going to be cooking up pit fried chicken on Lone Star Grillz El Patron. Let's get going. So this is something that I absolutely love doing, what I call pit fried chicken. I've done a few videos on this using different cooking systems, outdoor cooking systems, and the results are amazing. You end up with tastes like fried chicken, feels like fried chicken when you're eating it, but you're getting just a little bit of a smoky flavor. It's not an overwhelming smoke flavor, and it's a little bit better for you. So we're going to start off by making the breading. I have here 2 pounds of flour, and to the flour I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of black pepper, 2 tablespoons onion powder, 1 tablespoon garlic powder, 1 tablespoon spike. This is just a spice blend, various herbs and spices in here. There's no salt. 2 teaspoons California chili powder, just a fairly mild chili powder. 2 teaspoons Burberry spice. This is an Ethiopian spice blend, and it's just a very unique flavor. Kind of adds something special. Then right here I have 1 teaspoon accent, 1 teaspoon ground rosemary, 1 teaspoon kosher salt. Get the lid on this container here. Give it a shake, just get it all nice and mixed up. There we are. Right now we're going to bread the chicken. And here is that chicken. This is a whole fryer chicken, and I broke it down last night. It's funny, I took it out of the plastic bag that it was in and quickly realized that it only had 1 wing. They had cut one of the wings off and it wasn't included in what I bought. So anyway, 1 wing chicken. So first thing I'm going to do is simple dredge in this seasoned flour. So just simple dredge. And as far as the breasts, I always quarter the breasts. So I cut the breast in half, like you see more commonly, I guess. And then I cut each breast half in half. So I end up with 4 breast quarters. And that's like KFC does that. And it makes it, I think, a lot more evenly distributed as far as portions. The 1 wing. Right, now for this next dredge, it's going to be a little bit different. First, it's going into the buttermilk, and then back into that seasoned flour, then from the seasoned flour back into the buttermilk, and then from the buttermilk into a bowl of crunched up corn flakes. Let's do it. 1 wet hand, 1 dry hand. So into the buttermilk and into the flour. And back into the buttermilk, and into the corn chips. Like so. All right, I'm going to do the rest of these off camera. All right, and here is what we ended up with. This is going to be really good. Get that tang from that buttermilk. Flour's well seasoned. We're going to get that additional crunch from those mashed up corn flakes. So yeah, looking forward to this. It's going to taste more like, actual deep fried chicken with those corn flakes on there. Anyway, El Patron's all preheated. Let's get it on the pit. I'll show you the setup in a bit as far as the dampers and everything. Get that chicken on, and I'm just going to leave it on this rack here. And as the chicken shrinks, they'll space each other. Now I'm going to take some, this is just avocado oil. It sprays out. I like to spray the surface with an oil. You can use, one of the cooking sprays if you want. It'll just help crisp up and get that more fried chicken-like texture on the outside. Helps it brown, gives it color. As far as El Patron, I've got it on the 5th notch right now. I have lump charcoal going on the adjustable charcoal grate. Right now it's at its lowest position. And here's where I have the butterfly dampers on both sides of the pit. Now I will say I got this fire started with a weed burner, and at the time, you know, I had the fire door opened on its very last notch. I had both butterfly dampers fully open, jumped in the shower, got some things ready for the shoot, came back out, and it was at 400 degrees. So those settings that I showed you with the dampers and the vent down below are what brought it back to 350, which is my target temperature, 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So if I have to make any adjustments as this cook progresses, I'll let you know. As far as the cook itself goes, we're going off of temperature, the internal temp of the chicken. FDA says 165 for the breast, 175 for thighs. I like to take it 5 degrees beyond that. I just find that it is juicier and more tender if I go a little bit past what FDA is suggesting. So at this point, I'll just be updating you guys as this cook progresses. All right, we are about 30 minutes in now. Here's what we're looking at. So I just temped these a few minutes ago, and they're all in 140s, 150s. So I'm going to go ahead and give these a flip. I loosened these up. I sprayed this grate here with a little nonstick before I was, working on the chicken. The wings, they stuck. The others are looking pretty good. Lost some breading on that one, but that happens. Like I said, the wings, there, good as new. This happens. This happens sometimes even when you're deep frying, so it is what it is. For the most part, this is looking pretty darn good though. Happy with it. I'm sure these wings are probably done. Closed up. So I'm just going to continue temping them. I'm guessing they're going to be done probably in no more than 30 minutes, maybe more like 20 minutes or so. Yeah, like I said, I'm a little bummed about some of the breading getting stuck, but I mean, it is what it is. The majority of those pieces look really, really good. So yeah, I'll be checking on the temps again in about 20 minutes, and if they're done, we'll pull them off. All right, 20 minutes later, and these are all temping out where I want them to be. So I'm just going to pull this off the pit, allow these to rest and cool down a little bit, and I'll give you guys a try. And here we are, all cooled down, looking good. If you remember, I mentioned when I was doing that first check that the wings probably are already done. As soon as I shut the lid and turned the cameras off, I was thinking, why is it still in the pit? So I pulled it and ate it. It was good. Anyway, cannot wait to try these. Like I said, what I did was I just pushed them beyond the FDA's recommendation on chicken temps. That's just the way I like to do it. Again, I think they become a lot more tender and juicy that way. Look at that. Looks like fried chicken. Smells good. I mean, you can smell, that kind of buttermilk smell, that, kind of fermented in a good way smell. It's good. I don't know if the video caught, I'm going to be curious if the camera caught that juice jetting out. Very juicy. Very hot still. Yeah, you can see the steam coming off. Yeah, this is good, really good. Again, you feel like you're eating, deep fried chicken. You're not. So it's definitely, a little bit more healthy than eating deep fried chicken. And it tastes so good. The one thing that I would do next time that I usually do would be to brine this chicken prior, to all the breading and everything, overnight, let it brine. I just had so much going on yesterday that I just didn't want to deal with it, I guess. But this is good. It doesn't taste like, you know, smoked chicken. So if you're worried about that, it tastes like, you know, a really good fried chicken. But you're definitely getting a little bit, it's a different flavor. There is that kind of grilled, slightly smoky flavor incorporated into all of this. But it's just really good. You can see it's, you know, falling off the bone. First time I've done the, you know, pit fried chicken on El Patron, and it didn't disappoint. All of the other cooks that I've done this, you know, again, I call it pit fried chicken on, it's always been like an indirect heat source. So this was a direct heat source, you know, coming from pretty far down below, but it worked. Probably cooked a little faster than the other systems, which is fine. So yeah, the only bit of self-criticism I have is I wish I had brined the chicken. And not taking anything away from this chicken, it tastes really, really good. And if you take it to the step right before, you know, you dip it again and go into the cornflakes, that dropped into some fat, you know, into some molten beef tallow is money. Money, money, money. This breading is really good. Anyway, thank you for coming along on this ride. I enjoyed this cook. I'm enjoying this chicken. If you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed yet, please consider hitting that sub button, ringing the notification bell. Thumb it up if you like it. I hope you did. Keep those suggestions coming in. I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.